All right, we're live. It is the next round. We are, it's kind of like a Bud Light game night, except it's not night, but we're at Johnston RV Center, johnstonrvcenter.com.
Where if the bartender would hand me a Bud Light, it'd be just like Bud Light game night.
Oh, do you want to hand you one?
Please, yes.
You know, LT's got some Bud Light.
Well,
Would you like a Diet Coke?
I would. I think it's water, though. Oh,
I'm not going to act like I packed this cooler.
well, I know you did.
And Nick had it ready to roll.
Yeah.
Stella's, Bud Lights, and Diet Cokes. He knows us well.
We got a lot to tell you about here at JohnstonRVCenter.com, but I just pulled the biggest upset on LT of all time.
The biggest upset on LT of all time?
LT is good at picking games and what else?
Picking games, guessing ages.
Guessing ages.
Right.
So were you here? My man Blake over here. It's Blake, right? My man Blake over here.
Right.
I just asked LT, can you tell me how old Blake is?
I'm going to go.
That's his beautiful wife and young son. He's 28 months.
I met them earlier. I'm going to say Blake is 38.
38. LT gets 37.
37?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, okay, here's the thing.
Wait.
Okay.
You're going to unveil the age?
No, you can unveil the age.
No,
his kid is what really threw me off.
Well, his kid's
28 months.
I was going to go 2 years old.
Yeah.
That's his young wife Courtney,
Yep.
which also throws a curveball because she's young looking. Yes,
when she's a lot younger
Yep.
than he is.
Yeah.
A lot younger.
but
But I thought
a lot younger.
I'm going to assume we're not going to ask your age.
No offense to you.
But 37 looks right.
Yeah, I went 38.
38 looks right.
Okay.
Would you believe now look at me. Would you believe that only 3.5 years separate him and me?
What are you, a dog? These dog years?
53. That guy's 53.
There's no way you're 53.
Pull it out. Pull it out again.
What? What's he pulling out?
His driver's
okay.
license.
Now, I will say his driver's lilicense looks nothing like him. So
It
I
does.
don't know if this is really him or not, if he assumes somebody's identity.
Yeah. Are you witness protection?
Yeah,
Are you in Cullman, Alabama because of witness protection?
Huh?
Yeah.
You're on the lam from the law, aren't you? That's a fake ID. I know you.
I asked him, though, I said, what keeps you so young, bourbon?
Oh, yeah.
And-
Wait. Show him.
What?
And he's got it in his pocket.
In a Gatorade bottle. Yeah.
You're driving, right?
Yes,
Okay,
of course.
Yep.
Oh, man. Fun people. Fun time to be up here, man.
Yeah, we don't
No
get up here enough.
I know.
I think the last time was football season, right?
It was.
You and I did a Saturday show.
What game were you at, Dunaway? You were
Auburn.
down in Auburn.
Auburn, Penn State. I was at the Penn State Auburn game. And you
That
guys
was week
were up
3.
here.
Was that week 3?
Yeah, it was.
All I remember were you guys were talking about the best donuts you've ever had.
They're right over there.
We got some.
Bigfoot Donuts.
Yep.
Let me see a tray of those. Grab me
What?
the one with the white colored icing on top.
All right.
Yeah. What flavor are those? Let's see that. Where are these?
It's Bigfoot Donut. Kelsey, they're from Huntsville, right? Yeah, she brings them down from Huntsville.
Wow.
Yep. What flavor is that?
I don't know.
Well, it says it on the top.
Jim can't
Okay,
read that.
pretend I'm
Okay.
3.5 years older than him, and I
Yeah.
can't read without my glasses.
This is, it doesn't.
It looks like an orange
So,
roll.
I think it's cinnamon roll. Is this cinnamon roll, Kelsey, you think? Cinnamon roll. You going to try one?
Yeah, I'd love one. Well, that was the biggest fake out ever. I thought you were handing it to me. Oh,
Those are good.
put the lid.
Pass
back
that over to Lance.
I'm
You don't
good.
want-
I
you
don't
got
want
one?
on. Lance on one.
Oh, they're good, though.
I am good.
Wow. Good, aren't they? And listen, man, they have got, I'm going to put them down right here because I may get another one later.
Yeah, we're not here for the donuts, though, are we?
Wow.
Well, that's part of it.
Tell us about Johnston RV Center.
Johnston RV Center. So it is RV Show Month, and they're doing that here at Johnston RV Center. I-65 exit 304, and Cullman is the location where we are. There's also the 334 location up in Decatur where they had this show last month, or earlier this month, last weekend, I should say. Killed it up there. They're going to kill it here too. Till 6 tomorrow, right? 5 tomorrow. I don't have the copy in front of me. I can do 6 tonight, 5 tomorrow, and then what's Sunday? 1 to 5 Sunday. All right. I-65. So I'll pull it up later. Don't worry.
Let's just mic her up.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Give her a microphone.
I didn't know you were going to eat and say, Brown, tell them about Johnston RV Center.
She does not want to be on camera, I can tell.
No, I say she's the brains behind the business. So that's behind the business. So I-65 exit 304 in Cullman. That's the location. I just gave you the times. That's the RV show times for this month and this weekend. That threw me off. Can you tell that threw me off?
Why? Because it was so good?
Yeah. and I'm still chewing it up. And Dunaway was like, Brown, talk to him.
Now, while we're sitting here, these are, these are in some of the RVs. Hit one of those buttons you have over there, Brownie, because mine's not powered up right now.
Oh, that's. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a massage seat.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can get these in your RVs. Like you hit I don't know which button it is, but you can get these things to massage you, the power cords.
Oh,
Do
well,
you
look
guys
this.
see how kind I was that I deferred and I sat in the other chair first?
I do see that.
I'll switch with you.
Well, I know that you had to ride in the back seat, and Brown drove us. So.
did.
That's right. That is nice of you, Lance.
Yeah.
A lot of us.
Oh, and by the way, in the cooler is right here.
Oh, I knew that's why we were there.
Yes.
Big basketball weekend coming up. We'll talk some basketball a little bit later on. But over when we were talking to the folks a little bit here at JohnstonRVCenter.com, the interview came up earlier from with Dr. B about our friends.
Our friends in the mafia.
Our friends in the mafia up north.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff you guys were talking about earlier.
Well, I mean, his knowledge, Dr. B's knowledge of just the mafia history, television, film is pretty incredible. There's only one other guy, our buddy Chief, knows all about the five families.
How does he know all that?
He's
just an old redneck from Alabama like us.
He reads a ton, though. And
Oh,
so he reads a lot of, true mafia stories. And so he can tell you, who clipped who, who's the boss of each family, who their capos were. I mean, it's crazy. He knows everything.
Yeah. So I thought it was an interesting
No,
conversation
it is.
earlier today.
I'm weirdly fascinated by it.
Everybody is.
Well, I think it's, for me, it's like the
It's like the Royals in England for a lot of
For
people.
women.
yeah.
For women, I
in the-
think.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
in the U.S., it's the mafia.
Yeah, but I don't think any guys care about the Royals, right? Do
No,
they?
no, no.
I
but
don't. I've
I'm
never
just saying
cared to
there's
do
a fascination with some people about that, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I think that's the women, and I think guys gravitate more towards the gangsters.
yeah, which is why they've been so popular in movies and TV shows and such like that. Books.
Well, for me, it's really just like about the code and the family. Like he was talking about the thing with the Sopranos at the end. Nobody in the mafia would ever kill anybody in front of their family. I mean, I know they're like evil. I mean, ultimately evil people, but they do have a code that they live by, right? And I'm
Yeah.
always fascinated by that.
But you remember on the last episode when Phil gets clipped at the gas station and then the Explorer isn't in park and it rolls over his head? So that was in front of his wife and his grandkids. So that's another thing to look at, that maybe that was retribution for Tony in front of his family. But yeah,
that is interesting.
It
though.
is interesting that they do so much. They're so immoral, but they have a moral code amongst themselves.
By the way, if we ever need to hide anything, my man Blake owns a chicken farm, so
Do you really?
we can hide a lot of
Yeah.
stuff there.
I've told.
He seems like he'd be down too.
Yeah,
If I need a body buried, I'm calling my man
He's my
Blake.
man.
Blake is team next round, so
Yeah.
he's on board. Whatever we need, we're
I,
good.
I would assume there's a pig farm around here somewhere too.
Oh yeah, I would assume you've been listening.
Blake's reference.
You've been listening to what? Huh? So roundtable years ago, right? Yeah. He's been with us a long time. He's ridden some rides with us.
I
I
like
think
it.
he'd help us out.
Yeah, he did. He said the day y'all announced y'all were leaving radio, he mouthed the word because he didn't want to say it in front of his 28-month-old baby or 2.5-year-old son now. And then his wife backed him up and said, "Oh, bad day, but once we found out what you were doing, we had to get the app." So
Yeah.
he's been with us ever since. I love that.
We
Love that.
appreciate that.
No, we do appreciate that. How many chicken houses you got? 4. 125,000 chickens.
This is why I've told people this is a fact, and I know you'll back me up on that. Nobody believes there are more chickens in the world than people. Yeah,
Not even close.
right?
70 billion chickens were
70
consumed
billion.
worldwide. I told them one time they don't believe me. Tyson uses every piece of the chicken. The most expensive part of the chicken, I think, is the talons.
How come? It goes into makeup,
It's a delicacy, and in the Asian
Shut
nations.
up.
Yep.
and I guess there's only 2 of them per bird.
But
right?
you know,
Very good.
yeah. The next time we see a 3-talon bird, let me know about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys can. I had chicken last night when we were at Slice on the Wing and a Prayer.
Oh, no doubt. I eat chicken
I
all
had
the time.
Chick-fil-A 2 days ago for breakfast. I mean, yeah. So everybody's eating.
And my little one eats those dino nuggets like they're freaking going out of style.
I
man.
don't really know if those are chicken though.
That's chicken parts.
Yeah.
That's chicken. You still got to kill the chicken to get the parts.
Do you
right?
eat chicken or you get tired of chicken?
Well, I mean, it smells like money to him, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you eat a lot of chicken.
Yeah, hard to give chicken up.
I've
Yeah.
told you guys.
If this was our in-studio show, I had a really great joke there. But since we've
We
got a
got
huge,
kids,
honest
yeah.
crowd around here,
Yeah.
I will not make my doctor joke there. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I told you guys about the guy I knew. And she's seen it. I guarantee you. I'm not going to shout out names here. But a guy I knew who owned a piece of land, and his son and daughter-in-law lived on it, and they divorced, and she got the house, and he still owned the land around the house, and he put chicken houses right on the border right there.
Now,
What's that smell like? I mean, they were like right in her front door.
but
you
did she
get used to it, though, I bet.
did she have an opportunity to sell? Did he say, "Hey, look, if you'll sell, I won't do this"?
I don't know, Lance. I don't think it was very cordial.
Yeah.
At the time.
Doesn't
So
sound
yeah,
like
I don't think they were talking a whole lot. And she kept the house, and he said, "All right, I'll take care of that." So he put chicken houses right next to it on
Okay.
both sides.
We got some friends here who are at the kickoff.
That's right.
Show
Yeah.
for this past year. So
Yeah.
it's good to see.
I
all
got
these...
some Calhoun County ties over there.
Really, the Ohatchee?
Ohatchee.
Yeah.
You've been to Ohatchee, haven't you? Over on the creek bank?
I have. Used to go to what was their mascot? Was it
Indians.
the Indians?
Yep.
Ohatchee Indians? Who is their rival?
Cowboys?
Weaver in
Weaver
Alexandria.
in Alexandria.
Yeah.
The Valley Cubs?
Valley Cubs.
Yeah,
Weaver
I went to an
Bearcats.
Ohatchee Alexandria game once.
Did you?
Yeah. Who was the great Valley Cub running back in the day? What was-
Matt Campbell.
Matt Campbell.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Ended up playing at he got meningitis after his senior year in high school. He ended up at UAB. He was one of the best high school players I've ever seen. That guy was incredible.
One-man show at times.
He was a one-man show. We are at Johnston RV Center, I-65 exit 304 in Cullman. Michael says $100 to Lance if he showers Jim with a fire extinguisher. That's right there.
Oh, it's right there.
Oh, okay. I was like, out of the blue, where did that come from?
Checking my awareness now.
If you singe his hair with a blowtorch, how do we get on that subject?
Yeah, it's too late for that.
And those things, I don't know if you guys have ever fired one off. I fired a couple off.
Blowtorches?
I want to hear that story.
fire extinguishers?
these. Yeah, that sounds so bad. But
I mean,
you know where so we were in high school. You know where the tunnel is in Palisades?
Yeah.
Yeah, I shot one in there. It filled up the full tunnel. And then did it at the fraternity house one time. And the hall was completely.
Well, how do we get away with it at Ole Miss games when they're celebrating a
What?
touchdown and little Kiffin's up there firing the fire extinguisher?
I don't know.
Samuel asked on YouTube, would you rather earn $1 for every good deed you do or $100 for every bad deed you do?
I'd be a lot richer if I got $100 for
The old
every
bad
deed,
deeds. Yeah. I mean, those add up a lot quicker. You got to do 100 to 1, man.
I come from Trailer Park in Alabaster.
We've never heard that.
Either way, I'd blow the money one way or the other.
Yeah. But I think, 10 bad deeds a day, grind out $1,000.
Grind out.
As opposed to doing 1,000 good deeds every day.
That's a lot.
That
That's
is a
lot of work.
It is. I mean, I try to help people out, but 1,000 good deeds in a day is a ton, man.
Again, it's more difficult to take the good path, right?
Blake,
Yeah.
I'm sorry you haven't seen this side of Lance that he chooses evil over goodness right off the bat.
Hey, Blake and I, birds of a feather, I can tell.
the bourbon, the Gatorade, and
What? Oh, fried squirrel.
that's
So that's
right.
you and Dunaway. Yeah.
well, he was talking about that. His wife, Courtney, am I getting the name right? What is it?
Very
Gabby.
close.
Gabby,
Courtney,
yeah,
we're
Gabby.
Courtney.
or as I like to call her, Courtney.
Can she fry her squirrel? Can she fry a squirrel?
No, wait. She has harvested 12 right now. It's in the freezer.
Harvested 12 what? Squirrels?
She's hunted them herself, and she's going to cook my man a delicacy coming up, where she'll make the fried squirrel
Uh-huh.
and the squirrel gravy. And
What-
he was raving about how good squirrel gravy is.
What do you shoot with 22 or? Okay.
What makes squirrel gravy? It's just like parts of the squirrel in it. The broth? Yeah.
Is it really good?
delicious, he says.
Yep.
Wow.
Like she is saving it up and going to prepare him like a wonderful, loving wife will
Yeah,
do.
like I would try it, but I tried raccoon. I don't know if you've had raccoon. I did not like raccoon. Okay.
Totally different, you say? Yeah, if it's squirrel's done right. I'm willing to try it.
No, I am too.
But the key with squirrels, and I'd forgotten about this until she reminded me, you really only have like a couple more weeks until they're out of season, because once the weather warms up, they get what's it called again? Wolves. Yeah. These little burrs under their skin and stuff.
Yeah. Do you eat it? Do you hold it and eat it off the bone, or is it pulled off the bone already? Boil it and get it tender. Cut it up like chicken. I'm just batter it and fry it. So off the bone? On the bone? Interesting.
Let me guess. It tastes like chicken?
Is it pretty close? Yeah, I've had frog legs. You can't hardly tell the difference of frog legs. Yeah.
Do y'all ever get the bowl at Taco Mama? Build your own bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I get it with tuna a lot. Can you imagine if they had squirrel on that?
Somebody get it.
The problem is it'd be out of season too quick.
Yeah,
It'd be like the McRib, but it'd have to go in and off the menu all the time.
Would this be a good bracket challenge? Squirrel September, and all you can eat for meals is squirrel?
Is it in season in September? No, that'd be a bad bracket challenge then. November to March. Hey, Preston says he's heard squirrel brains with eggs.
Oh, that sounds like something.
A what brain? Hog brain and eggs?
Yeah.
Squirrel brain and eggs?
Yeah.
Hog brain.
My dad's done hog brains. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
When you were a little squirt, you used hog brains?
Man, I'm Mexican pizza's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying that, they what they had, man, they didn't have a store or fast food to go to. So,
yeah. Johnston RV Center is where we are. I-65 exit 304 in Cullman. It is RV show month. So you can get some great deals. That's still going on at 334 store in Decatur, but they're really focused here at 304 in Cullman. So just off I-65 all weekend long, JohnstonRVCenter.com, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
we're setting these Heritage Module Theater seats here.
Is that what these are?
That's what the big sign says right over your shoulder.
In charge right there behind you. It's got 2 USB hookups and plug.
But can you imagine, we got the RV, we're touring America, and then
I think we should
sitting
do
around
this.
in these things, having a conversation, watching the game. This is what we should do on Football Saturday.
No, I think we should do this. Once we get to a point, I think we should get an RV, and I think we should do a tour. I really do.
Tour of what? The southeastern states?
America.
Well,
remember we were going to do 50 states and
50 shows in 50 states. That was an idea you had, yeah.
And we're not on pace right now, are we?
Well, we're down to we've done Alabama.
We can do Florida because of Floribama.
We've done Florida. We've done Georgia. Have we done Georgia?
Yeah, we've done SEC Media Days.
Yeah, that's right. In Atlanta.
We've done Indiana.
Yeah.
We're about to do Tennessee.
Yeah. There's 5. We're up to 5 already.
I mean, we can
Texas.
45 more, boys.
Texas.
Yeah.
Because
44.
we're out in Dallas. Yep.
Yeah.
At some point, we're going to need Johnston RV to
California. We've done
let
California.
us use an RV again.
We've done California.
No, not on this show though.
Yeah, but I guess technically
if we're going to count the round table now.
I hate to say this, but the RV we took to Indianapolis,
right?
It has been sold.
It has been.
And much like an organ donor, I'd like to know where it went. I'd like to contact the family. I'd like to tell them stories.
that RV saw some things.
Is there any secrecy laws, or can you tell us who bought the RV we took to Indianapolis?
No. They are sworn to secrecy, Jimmy.
Oh, I'd like to chase it down.
Didn't we? We ran out of heat the first night, didn't we?
Well, I ran.
It was Brown's fault.
It was.
Yeah.
Boy, it was warm the next morning when we got in it.
Yeah. So I left on the propane overnight, so the interior heat ran off the propane. So it had snowed and iced in Nashville. I go out to crank the RV, and I'm like, dang, this thing is toasty. This is going to be great. It'll never get cold.
18 degrees outside. It had been freezing all night.
So
snow on the ground.
We get up to Indianapolis, and the high that day was like 6. So we parked it, and I flipped that same switch. I was like, tomorrow morning, this thing's going to be nice and toasty. So I didn't go pre-crank or anything. And I walk out there, and it was – you can see your breath in it. And I was like, well, that didn't work. I must hit the wrong button or something. I didn't realize I burned through the whole propane in one night.
But the thing I kept thinking when we got in and it was warm, I was like, boy, what if we'd burned down like a couple of hotels?
Yeah.
That
is a Dunaway thought if ever there was one.
Because I just thought of that propane running all night long, and then something happens and it catches fire, and then it burns the next car. Then it's the next 4 cars.
Yeah.
Then it's the parking deck. Then it's the hotel. Then it's the hotel next to it.
I mean,
nobody's coming because the roads are icy.
The stuff
then-
he thinks about.
Then we
man.
got to call David, who's got to call Johnston RV and say, "Hey,
bad news.
you lost the RV
And
and
we
a couple hotels."
I mean,
we got a pretty big
every scenario is catastrophic.
for
Yeah,
Dunaway.
yeah,
It is.
yeah.
It is. I mean, it is one after another.
That's why we spent the night in Nashville, because I
Yeah.
was afraid of you driving on their RV the rest of the way to
So
Indianapolis.
when you went up the Sears Tower in Chicago,
Nice meeting you, man.
Oh, bye.
yeah, y'all have a great
I'll
weekend.
send you those shirts.
Thank
Okay.
you, buddy.
But it cost you 12 squirrels.
I want to try that squirrel gravy.
Okay,
All right.
January, February.
All right. I want
Okay.
that squirrel gravy.
Yeah.
So when you went to the Sears Tower in Chicago, were you thinking like this could be the time?
Oh, always.
Because
Always.
the power has never gone out in that building
In the Sears Tower.
ever.
ever.
Wow. I'll go one step further. When we were negotiating our exit from Jocks,
Uh-huh.
every time we'd go to whatever floor our attorneys, our agents are on, I always thought the worst case scenario there. Too, that
Really?
something bad was going to
I
happen.
didn't notice that.
Like you're talking about like physically,
Like,
like
a plane was going to crash into the building,
Because
or
that happens all the time in Birmingham.
I don't like tall buildings. I'm not C-Stu. I'll go up in them. I just assume I'm never coming down.
I assume I'm never coming down.
so. Yeah, and I've got the phobia of the planes. Are you terrified of planes?
Oh, every flight.
Okay,
The drive up with Brown driving, I didn't think we'd make it.
you really didn't.
No, when he said, "Did you pray, Jim?" Yes, I literally prayed before we pulled out of the parking
You
lot.
thought today?
Yeah,
I mean, am I that bad a driver that you had to pray?
I don't think you're great. I don't think you're as good. I don't think you're as good as you think you are.
Why do you say that?
I think you're aggressive. Is that fair?
That is a fair.
well, that's
and-
what
and-
Jennifer says.
and that takes you out of the good category. If you're labeled an aggressive driver, unless Tony Stewart and Clint Boyer are talking about you on Fox on Sundays, being called an aggressive driver is not a positive.
So what makes me aggressive?
The fact that you fly and then you
I
you,
don't
you
fly.
ride people's
ride the
asses.
bumper.
I
too.
do not.
Yeah, you
oh
do.
my
That is
gosh.
bull.
You
Yeah.
ride the bumper.
You do ride
All
the
right,
bumper.
so when we're driving home, you tell me when you think I'm riding somebody's bumper.
Look, when we were in LA, and you know it, we were in that rental it was the size of a smart car, and we're going down the 405, and you're on everybody's ass the entire time, and I had to call you out. You don't remember that?
I don't.
Oh, whatever.
I don't. Was I going fast?
Yeah.
It was L.A. Isn't that the way you ride in L.A.?
And then when we went to speak at the
Selma Quarterback Club. Oh my
Oh.
God, that ride back. Are
Well,
you
then we
kidding
were
me?
by ourselves on the road. I couldn't ride anybody.
yeah, but we couldn't even see the road.
Why?
It was pitch black.
Well, I mean, it's right there in front of us. I can see it with my headlights.
Brown, you can't read that
What?
orange sign.
It says, check out our large selection of merchandise in our parts store.
Very good.
You're welcome. I mean,
Did you see how slow you had to read
Yeah, that
that to
was
make
slow.
out merchandise?
the camera's in the way, Jim.
Okay.
Give me another one. JohnstonRVCenter.com service policy.
Okay, above the leading salesperson's desk through that window in the back, that big sign back there. What does it say?
Arctic Blue?
No,
Arctic Wolf.
it says hashtag.
Where? I don't see what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
see, that's what I'm talking about.
Which one? Everything's blocked. I'm not on trial here, y'all. I didn't commit a crime.
See, I can do this one. Brown, see if you can stand
No,
up. to this.
LT's got incredible vision after
Looking to update your worn, uncomfortable, or simply outdated RV furniture.
Okay,
what?
the white poster in there. No, I'm looking through this
Which
window
one?
right here. This
The one that says share the joy?
yeah, no,
The
no.
lifetime warranty? Oh, I've got everything on that.
Which one?
Suspension, water system, kitchen center, heating and air conditioning system.
It says
I know you can see there is no cost to
RV
you.
warranty
Look-
forever.
Look
Well,
at his eyes. This was like Jameis Winston.
I got to squint down.
Look over to the coach, Jameis.
I can squint down to 2020, Dunaway. RV warranty forever.
Now we're doing it 80 miles an hour.
Wait, hold on, Dunaway. I want to see if he can get the under the browse and buy with
Where?
confidence.
Where?
See, browse and buy with confidence is under what you were reading.
Okay, hang on. It says suspension.
Yep.
Water system.
Yep.
Kitchen center.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing and air condition. No,
Yep.
heating and air conditioning system.
It's the facial. I wish we had a camera on your face.
Brake system.
Hey,
L-
for
L-
the
L-
record, both Dunaway and Brown have gone to see Dr. Mark Michelson.
Well,
they just weren't candidates.
No,
Yeah.
I was a candidate.
I've got Fuchs dystrophy.
Yeah, you do.
So I
you are
can't-
fooked.
I am.
Yeah,
I am. Fuchs dystrophy. So I'm not a candidate for the surgery.
yeah.
Eventually, I'll have to have some kind of massive eye surgery if I live to 90.
Massive.
LT's betting against me.
I bet against both of us. And Brown eats too much meat.
Oh,
You can't eat too much meat.
God, I
I
can't
know.
wait till you taste the squirrel.
I'm looking forward to squirrel gravy.
Yeah.
I think it actually sounds
Would you
good.
eat a squirrel sandwich?
But see,
Yeah,
I don't.
I'd give it a run.
I
Well,
don't-
I mean, he says you eat it off the bone.
What do you think the best bread for a squirrel would be? A Hawaiian roll?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Anything's good on a Hawaiian roll.
Hawaii, yeah, that's absolutely.
Yeah, Hawaiian rolls.
Squirrel
are phenomenal.
sliders?
Do you eat a lot of Hawaiian rolls?
It didn't sound good, did it?
Squirrel sliders.
I mean, I eat some. I wouldn't say a lot, but I do
Yeah.
like it. It's just a lot of bread.
All right, so I want to explain this. We get asked this a lot. Chris said, I thought Brown got his eyes checked a while back. So basically, I don't need readers. I'm fine up close. I've got astigmatism. That's why I have to squint like I did.
And I'm just the opposite. I see great in the
Right.
distance, but I can't read a menu.
So Michelson, when I went to visit Michelson, they said we can fix the distance vision, but you might lose your up close vision. So basically, it was. I mean, you can't have both of them. I'm 46, right?
Yeah, but I think if I were you, I would give up the up close because
Mhm.
at some point you're going to have readers.
Oh,
I
no.
use the up close all the time, though.
Yeah,
The distance I don't use that much.
but it's coming for you. You're going to have both.
I think I'm a long way
Again-
away from readers.
Again, our driver who's driving 85 doesn't use his long distance
Yeah.
vision very much.
I'll tell you what, you can walk home. I don't care. You got plans this weekend?
I can sleep right here in these beautiful Johnston
Have
RV
at it.
campers. These
Have at it.
RVs.
Brooks said his grandmom used to make squirrel and dumplings when he was young, like
Yep.
chicken. I love chicken dumplings.
I did too. I haven't had that in forever.
It's been a while for me too.
So basically, anything you put in chicken in, you can do squirrel.
Yeah,
I would think so. Yeah,
Squirrel dumpling.
I would think they're pretty interchangeable.
Could you do a squirrel quesadilla though?
Yeah,
I bet you could.
absolutely. And now look, me and Dunaway have done that wild game cook-off over at Talladega.
It's coming up soon.
It's coming up soon, but we're going to be out of town. We're going to be up in Nashville for the SEC tournament. But they do. I mean, they put all kinds of stuff in quesadillas for that thing.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, I've eaten probably every wild animal there is, just about.
So far, the worst animal I've tasted is bear.
Bear,
I've heard
bear
that.
stew.
You know, the one time I did it, me and Brown
awful.
did it. You weren't there for whatever reason, Dunaway, and there was not bear. I'm trying to think. Did we have beaver?
I don't know. I don't remember that. I don't think I've ever had beaver.
I have. I'm a big fan. It tastes like chicken.
And bear stew.
It was black bear stew.
It was black bear stew, and wasn't it that that old dude that old cat that was driving a NASCAR still? Didn't he make it?
Dave Marcus.
Yeah, Dave Marcus.
Yep.
He made it.
The guy that wore dress shoes as a.
Yeah, he'd wear wingtips driving a NASCAR.
No, he wouldn't.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, 100%.
Because he didn't like wearing the fire retardant boots, so he just wore dress shoes because the heat of the gas pedal and the floorboard, it wouldn't bother him on the hard shoes.
Yeah, but
shoes.
so
Why
he
don't
had
you
like
just get something specially made for him.
he didn't want.
I guess he wasn't good enough.
he didn't want that new technology.
well, he was old.
Yeah, but I mean,
he was
that's-
good back in the day. I think.
That's Jimmy Johnson in his prime. Somebody
Oh,
makes
yeah,
up the
heck
point.
Yeah.
He still kept all his contacts in a phone book
Did you ever have a black book?
with girls' names in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
No, with a bunch of dudes. I was-
There was a back page.
it's funny. I think there is a line of age when you have people that had the black book and people that never did.
Blake and I, who just left, we had black books.
Oh,
back
yeah.
in the day.
I had one for work purposes. I mean, I didn't have one for girls, but I had one for work purposes.
Did you put a rating system in there like stars
Oh
or
boy, I know you did.
thumbs?
No, I got to be honest. So we had the Patriot Power Line when I was in middle school.
What's that?
It just had everybody's phone number, name and phone number.
Oh,
by
okay, yeah,
grade.
yeah. It was a phone directory.
Yeah, but you'd star the ones you wanted to call.
Yeah.
Oh, you not just 1 star, or would you 2-star some, 3-star others?
I know you
NIL.
played. I know you played by yourself a lot.
NIL offer for
I
some.
didn't have time to do multiple stars. I was just a simple
but
star
you know,
system.
Dunaway did it in pencil, so he could take stars
Oh
away.
yeah,
like,
She was mean to me today.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only 1 star now.
Lose a star.
You probably had like imaginary pet names for these girls that didn't even know you existed.
Absolutely.
Half of the ones Dunaway brings up are imaginary pet names. The names of the girls that you.
No, no,
Yeah, there's no way there's a Rebel Fox.
I know
There is.
You've never been able to present her on Facebook.
That's
or-
right.
Oh, we can get her on the show now that we're here. We can do.
Can we
contact.
get her in studio?
No, but she lives in Georgia now. I think
Oh yeah.
if it's okay with her husband, we can zoom her in one day.
I'm
I'm
going.
fine with
I'm
it.
going to assume the husband of Rebel Fox is probably protective. He's a helicopter husband, I'm guessing.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, the names. I don't. I don't think most of them are real, so I'm not being offensive to anybody.
Okay, well, you met April last night.
I did, but that's a normal name. I'm saying you got a bunch of. It sounded like you went to school at Hee Haw. I mean, it's a bunch of like country bumpkin names.
No, it's not. Babby, who didn't have a Babby that went to school?
I did not.
B-A-B-B-I,
I did not have a Babby. Lance, did you
There's
know a
not
single
one Babby at your school right now?
No, and I went to Sachs.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a principal over there, and she says 0 Babbies.
And she's at Ohatchee. No offense to Ohatchee. You're a Bambi.
No, not Bambi. That's redneck. Babby. Babby, B-A-B-B-I. Okay. How about Michelle?
Nope. Didn't go to school in Michelle.
Why do you drop the A on the end of that?
Yeah.
Because she's, I think, Scandinavian. Michelle.
No, she's not. She's an Alabaster.
A Scandinavian chick in Alabaster?
Yeah.
Rebel Fox. What are some of the other?
I mean,
weird
you're
ones?
making my case for me. I don't even have to say.
Does she still go by Rebel?
I have not seen her. She moved out of town when she was in the 6th grade.
I mean,
I
Lady,
would
Lady
imagine-
Antebellum had to drop the Lady A.
I know.
I think Rebel Fox is probably.
You think she just goes by R
Yeah.
now, or
There's
Bell?
R.
Maybe she's just Bell now.
I mean, most of the girls you went to school with sound like they got paid $1 at a time.
Well,
No,
they probably did.
That's my family, Brown. You're talking about now,
Sorry.
because that's my Aunt Charlene, who just passed 2 weeks ago. It's a little early for you to be bashing her.
Well,
but
hey, well, let me ask you: did you go to Aunt Charlene's funeral?
I did not, because we were
Okay.
doing a show.
Oh, yeah. Dunaway. He's
They are tight.
committed to the craft. He ain't
I
gonna
had
miss
not
a show.
seen her in a while.
Yeah.
I had an Aunt Tawana. Do you have a Tawana in school?
She
You
knows
do
a
know a
Tawana.
Tawana.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Yep.
Tawana.
Yeah.
My grandmother was Hazel.
Right.
That's an old name.
That is
My
an old
grandfather was Lonnie.
Lonnie.
Oh, Lonnie.
Mom's Lula Gale.
I know.
You're not gonna make fun of my mom.
Wait,
I'm not gonna make fun
I
of your
didn't
mom.
know
She's
your
a lady.
mom's name was Lula Gale.
Well, we call her Gail, but her official name is Lula Gale, and for her whole life it was together, Lula Gale.
Okay.
Lula Gale.
Yeah, y'all had some exotic names.
Beatrice. You got a Beatrice?
It's not Beatrice. It's Beatrice.
Beatrice.
I think it's Beatrice.
I think
you
it's
guys
Beatrice.
pronounced it wrong.
no, it's Beatrice.
She was just uppity.
no, Beatrice. I think
Beatrice?
Beatrice is
Beatrice.
actually one that made us squirrel back in the day.
Really?
I think
So
Dad.
you
I think Dad would shoot him, and Beatrice would cook it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she didn't go to school with you. She was a friend of your parents.
No, she was a sister of my dad, so she was another aunt.
Oh, she's related
Yeah.
to you.
My
Beatrice?
my dad is James Edward, like me. How he got that normal name. His sister is Charlene. His younger brother is Otis, and his oldest sister is Beatrice. My grandmother, his mom was Lily Mae, and they had to be together.
I mean, it
Was
really
was
does
Lily
sound like
Mae?
the set of Hee Haw.
Lily
It
Mae.
does.
Yeah,
My
Lily
God.
Mae. Yep.
What were the family reunions like back in the day?
I didn't go a lot. Yep. Did not go a lot. They shunned me when I went for that book learning in college.
Well, we've lost him.
Damn it, he's probably going to vote Republican too.
We're at Johnston RV Center, I-65, exit 304 in Cullman, 334 in Decatur.
I'm
What?
blushing.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Because you didn't go to that funeral?
I did not go to
How old was she, Dunaway?
She was old. She's older than my dad, and we've already established I'm old. So Dad's 17 years older than me, and she was Dad's older sister. So she was up there.
Yeah.
So, like, what, 77?
She was. I don't know. I mean,
Man,
sad.
I'm good at
sad,
guessing
sad to-
ages.
sad to know. Sad to say, but I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss. Johnston RV Center, I-65, exit 304 in Cullman. The RV show is today through 6 o'clock, 8:30 to 5 tomorrow, and 1 to 5 on Sunday. I-65.
If I don't have a Blakely's bouquet sitting in the studio on Monday for my aunt, I'll be
So
disappointed.
what was her name again?
Charlene.
Charlie.
Yeah.
I-65 exit 304 in Cullman. Don't forget the 334 in Decatur store as well. Killing it up there on the RV show. They're going to do it here too. The 2023 models arriving daily. Closeout models still here. Some are, and they've got competitive financing, lifetime warranty. JohnstonRVCenter.com. That is JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Do y'all have the family plot?
I know at Elliotsville Presbyterian Church on 119, when we married my pop, everything's tied back to Alabama football. I watched Alabama and Georgia in the 70s at Shelby Memorial with him one Saturday. Alabama lost but it was a great day because everyone was telling me he was getting better. The next day he died.
So his last Bama game was a loss.
Was a
know,
loss
what a
to
crappy way
Georgia,
to
to
go
Vince
out.
Dooley's Georgia
At
team.
least it wasn't Auburn, huh?
And then the next day he died. So we buried him at Ellisville Presbyterian.
Right.
My grandmother went on and bought her grave slot right next to his, and bought mine right next to them because they raised me basically.
So will you be laid to rest? I know you want to be cremated like me.
Yeah, I'm going to be cremated. So
we'll pour some ashes on that plot.
We had an unfortunate passing on my brother's side of the family, and his wife's side of the family. So I gave them my spot.
Oh, that is so nice.
Did
of
you
Jeff.
give it to him, or did you take a little cash?
I did not take any cash because I didn't pay for it either. My grandmother paid
Yeah, I
for it.
know. Those plots are
Probably
expensive.
with green stamps, to be honest with you. Does anybody know what green stamps are?
What are those?
There used to be these little stamps you'd get when you would go to poor people's grocery store. And
was that the name of the grocery store?
No, but you would get like these stamps.
I thought it was like Po' Boys.
Like, for instance, if you went and bought $70 worth of groceries, they had this little machine at the end. They'd put $70 and they'd spin this wheel, and these stamps would come out. Then you'd have these little books at home that you would lick. And once you filled up a book, that book had a dollar value when you went to the green stamp store, which ironically used to be in Homewood, back before Homewood got to be too cool.
Wow.
Before it was so uppity.
So, yeah. So you drive to Homewood, the green stamp store, and you take your books in. So if you had hit me up if you know these green stamp books. If you had 12 books you could take in there, and you'd walk around, and you're like, oh, that coffee maker's 2 books.
Could
these golf clubs are 4 books.
Could you buy alcohol with it?
I don't know. I don't know alcohol. No alcohol.
Okay.
David knows what I'm talking about. David didn't come from money either. Look at that. Green stamps, man. Those were big. Those were big.
I'll tell you, being a cashier
different
back
world.
in the day would have been a pain in the ass having to deal with green stamps.
No doubt.
Yep. I don't think you could buy groceries with the green stamps, could you? Nope.
So it was what, just like household goods?
Basically, it was a racket, it turns out.
So it was like a rent-a-center, but you were just using green stamps?
Well, you would go to this grocery store, which would send you the green stamps. They probably had some kind of deal.
Oh, there's no doubt.
I bet you got suckered into all that stuff. Did you do the RCA? You pay a penny for 7 CDs.
No,
and then they've got you locked in forever.
Was 1 penny for 13 cassettes.
Yeah,
13 cassettes. Those things last forever. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I don't have any of them anymore.
Are you still paying the Columbia Record Club?
There's no
1
doubt
penny
Dunaway is.
for 13 cassettes, but I had to buy 3 a year for 3 years at club price. About $26 a pop at that point.
Of course. Troy says S&H green stamps. Is that the name? That's what Troy says.
Yeah,
S&H green stamps. That's what Troy says.
Yep. And I forget what all you could buy,
Mm-hmm.
but you could buy stuff with it.
I mean, Dunaway grew up in a Tom Sawyer book, didn't he?
He really
It
did.
It's the dangest
It was a
thing,
different
man.
world back in the day.
It really was. Some of the stories you tell.
I
are
mean,
crazy.
I'm old enough to remember the day they opened the Red Mountain Expressway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they carried it on Fox 6, which was not Fox 6 back then. It was ABC 6.
Yeah, ABC.
Did you the Atlanta fire?
What, Sherman?
Yeah.
We stood on the hill and watched that.
Let it
That
burn.
was
Damn it.
entertainment, right?
Damn it, I had the Confederates in the under. It was crazy, though. Back in the day, we watched the blue-gray game on Christmas Day in Montgomery.
And your old man would always pull.
And in my house, you always had to cheer for the gray. You could never cheer for the blue team, no matter if you had a quarterback or somebody on the other team.
Son, this
that
is
you like.
son, this
Yeah.
is payback.
Yeah, it's like, hell no, we're not cheering for the blue. We got to cheer for the gray.
I still got the uniform.
The blue-gray.
Oh wow!
Oh, some of the memories.
How about they did call that the blue gray game?
Oh, it was. It was,
Yeah.
it was the blue-gray game.
I thought
It
about
was
that
the
years
Kelly
ago.
Blue Green.
Yeah,
Game,
Kelly
right?
Tire.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Kelly, Stars of the North
You know,
versus
I
the
will-
Stars of the South.
One day when we're
How funny is that? I never have thought. I thought of that forever.
back in studio, we need to whiteboard the top sponsors that you still remember that are affiliated with, whether it's a stadium or it's like the Nokia Sugar
No,
Bowl.
I was about to say that one.
Yeah.
I don't know why that stuck with me. The Nokia Sugar Bowl, because I remember going as a kid and it was USF&G. You
Yep,
remember that
I do.
USF&G Sugar Bowl, but Nokia stuck with me more for some reason.
Well, that bowl in Tampa has screwed up losing. I mean, that was one that
the Outback Bowl.
It was a real sponsor. It was Outback, but that's the only way I knew that bowl was
Me
the
too.
Outback Bowl.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
because it was really the Hall of Fame Bowl before it was
right.
the Outback Bowl.
when you think of Fiesta Bowl, who do you associate?
Sunkist,
I go Tostitos.
Yeah, I do too.
it was Sunkist back in the day, like back when Notre Dame and West Virginia played for the national championship. You remember that?
Yeah, but
What was that? 87, Lance? Was it 87?
wait, who was it again?
Notre Dame and West Virginia.
I
don't think-
88. It was 88.
I don't know if West Virginia could win the national championship. Could they? I think Notre Dame is Tony Rice's Notre Dame team.
And Major Harris for
West Virginia. Don Nealon was coaching them. Yeah. I don't think West Virginia could win it, but Notre Dame had to beat them to win it. But I can't remember who they were up against that day.
I asked this on Josh Pate's podcast the other night.
Oh, you were Josh Payton had you on?
I gave him a question. Late kick, Josh.
Oh, I saw this. Our buddy Preston from Buzzed actually sent me. He was like, Josh Pate saying really nice things about the next round, and it was based off your question.
My question was, would you want to fast forward through this 2023 season?
Yeah, I was a little confused by the question.
To get to 2024 and the expanded playoffs, because this is going to be sort of like a lame duck year, right?
But not just expanded playoffs, but Texas and Oklahoma
That's
coming
right.
up. Yeah.
And USC and UCLA. Go ahead and get everybody where they're going and the expanded playoffs. Just fast forward. We already be there at kickoff of 2024 and not have to worry about this one last year with the stupid 14 playoff. Or would you want to rewind back to the first ever Saturday night, Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, what was the guy on the sidelines?
Adrian Karsten,
yep. Saturday night on ESPN.
God, I used to love those.
And relive all that again, and with no guarantee the results are the same.
That was probably your get-even game, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Your catch-up game.
Well, really, it was Monday night.
Yeah, Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
But those are some good. I mean, Alabama was not great back then, but it was some great Saturday nights.
Yeah, but I mean, that was like the only game on prime time most of the time, that game. So I bet there was a lot wagered on that game.
It was. It was the 6:30 ESPN game.
Yep.
It was huge.
And so it was probably a heavy handle on that.
And
one,
Auburn was great in the 80s.
So
they had a lot of those primetime Saturday
such a good atmosphere on those games.
So we had certain hours, and obviously this is before social media, but you could call up until typically it was that 6:30 Saturday night game. But if we had a bad day, we'd let everybody know, hey, we're going to be open for the late game for like Hawaii, just trying to get it back.
Yeah. So if it was a good day, y'all weren't taking Hawaii action?
We were done.
Yeah. After the 6:30 SEC game, basically. Because there's a heavy SEC schedule in that, too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here's some. Lunsford says the Poulan Weed Eater Bowl is number one for him. It is hard not to think of that.
That's a good one.
Samuel says the Winston Cup.
Oh, yeah.
It took me a while not to call it the Winston Cup because it was it at the Nextel Cup?
Oh, thank you.
He brought you a jacket? Something to wear around the house?
Absolutely. I will. Thank you.
Was that Thompson?
No, it's local, I think.
Okay.
What? Wow. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
thank you.
you.
Why did he bring it to you?
Is that Mason?
I don't
Y'all know if that was Mason?
Hey, brown old people need a sweater.
I don't know.
That's
a cool looking jacket.
It is.
Wow.
Is it XL?
I don't know. What a nice gift.
If not, Maggie's gonna look good in it.
Chris wants to know, did any of your family dip snuff?
Oh, my grandmother. Not my grandfather,
of course,
but my grandmother did.
What was her? Lurleen?
No, Hazel.
Lula Gale is his mom. How do I know that?
No, she dipped snuff, and she was so awesome at it too. She could throw that stuff.
Is that an art?
Did anybody's grandmother dip snuff?
No, mine did not, Jim.
It was
my man back there on the wall is like,
it's powdered tobacco, right? Your grandmother did? Your grandmother? Okay. Your neighbor did? Okay.
She was 92?
Yeah. So she
would she have a lipper? You could tell she had it?
No, it's under mine would put hers under her tongue, I thought. Yeah.
Bruton snuff?
Yep. Yeah, me too.
I'm going to assume these women didn't wax. Is that fair assumption?
Yeah. No. So when you ever got stung by a bee, what'd she do with that snuff?
She put it on the bee sting. Yeah.
Yep. Man, she'd cake that stuff on that thing.
And it'd take that sting out of it?
I guess it would. I mean,
it
scared the heck out of me when she started spitting that stuff.
My grandmother put butter on it. Well, that's on a burn. Yeah, you put butter on a burn, don't you?
But my grandmother, I started announcing Little League games when I was 11 at the Little League ballpark. She would drive me there, obviously. The first game was always 8:30 in the morning. And we'd go at 8:30 in the morning. She would unfold that chair.
Was it one of those lawn chairs that was like
that had the felt that
it was woven?
But she would just go to listen to you.
She would sit down behind the backstop with her snuff and her Coke, and she'd sit there and dip that snuff and just chew the ass of that umpire out all day long. I mean, T-ball the T-ball always had played 8:30.
Right.
And then on the way up. And I was up there announcing, making a quarter a game and all the money. And Hazel, Nanny would sit there.
Quarter a game?
Quarter a game, but all the concession stuff, food I could eat.
Was the action in black and white?
So So I'm doing the PA announcement.
You look down and everything's
And she stayed there all day until after the 9:00 game. And we would sit there and she would shoot and never come up. She'd never come to the press box. She'd sit there, but every umpire, they called her by name. And in between innings, I'd see him walk over. Did I get that one right? And she's loud too.
If you had to
she had
list,
no rooting interest in the game, just hated the
She
umpire.
was only there for you.
She
if
was
you
there
had
to listen to me and cheer against the umpires.
to list the people that loved you the most in your lifetime, as Hazel number one.
She was number one.
Is there a close second?
To the point that, I mean, it's sad that your own mom would get upset, but like if she was ever over at the house, like Nanny would not let me get up to get anything, like, which is why I love staying there instead of at home, because I could be at Nanny's and I could be
So
like,
Hazel was like a remote.
well, I mean, we had to have one back then because we didn't have a remote, but
She used the pliers to change the TV channel.
I'd be downstairs playing basketball by myself, nurse basketball in my imaginary league.
All right.
That I had the NBL, the National Basketball League, and probably had a great game going on between the Montana Sky and the New York Empires in my imaginary league down there. And she'd say, "Hey, what do you want for dinner?" And I could pick anything, and she would cook it.
Well, you couldn't pick anything.
No, I'd be
Well, she
like,
had to buy green
well, I
stuff.
mean,
Yeah.
what we could afford. But
Yeah.
she'd be like, "What do you want to eat?" And I'd like,
Sloppy Joe's again.
no, I'd be like hamburger steak and mashed potatoes. All right. And she'd start cooking that. And I'd finish the second half of my game. I'd go upstairs. I'd sit down on the couch. Whatever's on the TV, she'd bring it in.
Didn't
She had-
realize you were spoiled. I
she had-
never thought you were
She
spoiled.
had this little tray she'd set up that I'm sure we bought with green stamps. Set it up. She'd set my plate down there with a big old Coca-Cola Classic.
What was the?
And I mean, I wouldn't even have to get up and get my Coke. If I got to the end of my Coke, she'd come fill it back up for me.
oh, I bet your
was
dad hated
amazing.
that. What was Hazel's? Your grandfather's name?
Alani.
Was he good guy?
He was a miner, red ore miner off of
Minor in Spanish?
like underground, and not coal though. I always have to tell people they think, oh, coal miner, but it was off of where the road that takes you out past Lunsford's and past the Galleria
Yeah.
out towards Bessemer. There used to be an ore mine there,
Right.
and he worked there.
So like a minor league miner?
So six
Did,
days a week he'd work there.
Did you get the black lung?
He got red lung.
The red lung?
Yep.
So that's
And
that's
Is
what
that
you get if
worse?
you're-
and
Is that
ironic-
worse than
Well,
black?
it's just what you
It
get from
was
the
the
ore
same
mine,
thing
right?
the red does, but
Yeah.
ironically, it was not covered.
Oh,
like the
God,
black
that
lung.
sucks.
So we had to battle for a long, long time, and I think Nanny finally got some money before she died, but not like the.
Oh, I bet you Shannara would have cleaned them out.
Yeah.
That was before you had real lawyers.
No,
like
no,
that.
no. But somebody like Shannara would have cleaned them out.
Yeah, but
So that's what killed him.
that and prostate cancer. But yeah,
And smoking.
Yeah, but I
he
mean,
didn't smoke.
so everybody that worked with him ended up with red lung, and the company wouldn't cover it because it wasn't black
it
lung.
wasn't negotiated because of the black lung.
Yeah, but that was a union issue, right? The
was.
union had not negotiated
Yeah.
that,
They ended up down the road. They got some money.
did they?
Yeah.
But I mean, nothing like what you would have in
They had
a
to pay-
normal.
They had to
lawsuit.
pay. They had to pay backwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I told you guys before where the Galleria was obviously wasn't anywhere thought about being built at the time, but Shelby County was dry, and we would drive up every Saturday because that was one of the days he was off. Usually, the Saturday he was off, and would go up to Nick's Bar, which was right across the county line,
Right
where
there on 31.
where Loveman's Village
Yeah.
ended up being. And that's where we'd go and we watched the game of the week in baseball. And I remember being about the size of Little Man over there.
Would they card you?
No, I would sit at the bar and my pop would order the Bud Light and I'd say, I'll take a Bud Light. And the guy, Nick, the bartender, would go, all right. And he popped me a Coke in those big cool bottles, set it down there like I was ordering a Bud Light. Boom, there you go.
And y'all would sit there and watch the ball game.
We'd watch Kurt Gowdy and Joe Garagiola and Tony Kubak.
Was
So
he
that
running
changed over
to
the years.
the payphone to call a bookmaker?
I don't think he gambled.
Lonnie did?
Danny probably did. No. My dad did, and does, but I don't think Pop did.
Any winners in your family as far as like being able to win gambling?
Dad's actually pretty good.
Okay.
So he throws darts too, right?
He does. Still was a great bowler. But we talk about Rockstar getting to go on this tour,
Uh huh.
and how awesome Rockstar said last night on our show how awesome it was that Nancy let him go do this. And I remember my dad was such a good bowler. He had qualified to be in this big bowling tournament that they show on ABC back in the day in Cincinnati. It was like one of the biggest tournaments. And because of his league average in some regional tournaments, he had qualified to where he could bowl in that. And I remember them arguing about him going and not going. and
he didn't go.
He didn't go.
So how many 300s?
He only brought it up for the next 20 years.
How many? It's a standard Dunaway move. Yeah.
What could have been?
Yeah,
where I learned that move.
I know where you got that from.
Yeah.
Well, how many 300s has he bowled?
I don't know if he's ever bowled a 300. I think he's had several 299s.
So he was going to go on ABC and he's never had a 300?
Yeah, I think he was several 299s.
Yeah.
Bowling's changed a lot since then. Like some of the winners back then were only like 267.
Oh, really?
Ernie McCracken had a 300, right?
Big Earn. Where'd they go? Oh, Daniel said he went fly fishing with a girl guide the other day. And she was really good looking and packed a fatty in her lip, he said.
Oh, how about that?
I
Wow.
didn't think you'd see that much anymore.
So
Interesting.
What?
I mean, I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever dated anybody that dipped or chewed.
The fact you got to think about it.
So we've got a common friend, and his wife used to dip.
You've told us that before,
Yeah.
and we guessed it right away, but it's still a little bit
Yeah.
surprising.
And she went to Mountain Brook.
Yeah, that's the most surprising
Yeah.
part about it, that she dipped and went to Mountain Brook.
But I do know a lot of men who have attractive wives whose their wives smoke cigars with them, like after a night of drinking or something.
I think that's more of a. There's no way they enjoy the cigar.
Do you smoke cigars? Every now and then is what she's saying.
I've you don't enjoy it?
See, she's being honest. She does not enjoy it.
Yeah, I've smoked a cigar before.
That's what my nephew
What'd he say?
Jace.
After Alabama beats Tennessee,
Right. Yeah.
I miss those what we call now the good old days. Now that's been 1 year of them winning.
1 year. Then I was trying to. I just somebody saw this pop up because I was trying to go back to this. I can't get it now. I was trying to go back to a comment.
Well, you look, we're at Johnston RV Center.
Yep, I-65 exit 304 in Cullman, because I'm about to read this movie review from the movie Lance is going to see tonight. But I was going to go back because Bobby is live tweeting us from inside the movie, and he said there were 32 minutes of previews for Cocaine Bear.
Well, I appreciate that because there will be 32 minutes for me tonight, so I will stay longer at the restaurant/bar
There you go.
before I go over.
I-65 exit 304 in Cullman. Don't forget the 334 in Decatur location as well. But it is the RV show right now at Johnston RV Center. JohnstonRVCenter.com. You can see everything. But the RV show runs through the weekend. They were over at 334 in Decatur, but 304 now in Cullman. 6 o'clock tonight, 8:30 to 5 on Saturday, and 1 to 5 on Sunday. Those are the hours. That's the jacket the guy brought you?
Yes.
That is a good-looking
Look
jacket.
how cool that is.
I just don't understand why he brought you that. I mean, what's the history behind it?
I don't know, Brown, but cannot one person like me better than you?
It's hard. Saturday is 8:30 to 5, and then 1 to 5 on Sunday. You can see more JohnstonRVCenter.com, JohnstonRVCenter.com. So Lance is going to go see Cocaine Bear. Now, Lance,
I think I'm going with him.
Oh, Jim, you're going?
I may. I don't know. We'll play it by ear.
Is that an extra large?
Bum, 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 bum.
That's a large.
I think it'll fit.
I like that logo though.
Me too.
That's a good-looking Indian.
Three stripe life. I love it.
The old three stripe. Lance going to go see Cocaine Bear, and Dunaway may go with him. Lance, what has it done on Rotten Tomatoes? You said it got pretty better than I would have thought.
I'm going to check right now. It was at like 72%. The audience score was a little higher. Oh, here we go. So Cocaine Bear right now has dropped to 70. It's got a ton of reviews though. So like as of last night, it was like 60 something reviews. It's up to 162 reviews. Audience score of 81%.
Bobby said, I'm 45 minutes in. Cocaine Bear has had some hilarious moments. Ice Cube Jr. is in this, reminding me of his dad in Friday.
O'Shea Jackson.
He said it's not Friday's level yet, but there's still 45 minutes left.
Okay.
Halftime update from Bobby.
Halftime.
There's a big controvery. So Elizabeth Banks, and do you
She's
guys
the
know who that
director,
is?
right? Yeah, she directed it.
Yeah, but she was in like 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Mm-hmm.
She was kind of the promiscuous girl that was in the
One
bathtub.
who's in the bathtub. Okay.
Yeah, and she's also been in Pitch Perfect. So she is behind the camera now. There's a controversial scene where some kids get a hold of some of the cocaine, and a lot of Hollywood wanted it cut out, and she left it in there.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that she stood up for it. Daniel says, all this talk about Cocaine Bear, y'all need to get Bert Kreischer on for his new movie, The Machine. I think Rockstar's got his number. I need to see if Rockstar will text him.
Yeah, we've had him on before.
Yeah, he's been on several times. Been in studio with us. Told that story both times and told it with very high energy. That's what we liked about it. Like both times he told that story on our show, he told it like it's the first time he'd ever told the story before. and we like that.
And he's branched out a lot. He doesn't just do the machine story anymore.
Right.
He's doing a lot of stuff.
But this movie's based on the machine.
yeah.
If you've never heard him tell that story, we'd love to replay it for you. But some greedy people kept all our audio when we left the company one time. Brian says he saw it last night. Not bad, really funny. I mean, that's kind of a so-so.
I mean, what more do you?
I mean,
want if it's really funny. I don't care how bad it is.
That's the way I would describe Hot Tub Time Machine when we were talking about it. It's not bad.
Really?
It's got some really funny parts.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have an expectation this is going to be Citizen Kane by any means. I am prepared to sneak in some bourbons and sit back, relax, and watch an hour and a half of just
laugh, right?
Yeah.
So Mark Kennedy is the movie reviewer, the movie critic, I'm sorry, for the Associated Press. And I came across this during the show today, but we had so much going on. So he says, and the headline is, Cocaine Bear, 100% pure, uncut junk with no high.
That doesn't sound good.
Yes, there is a giant bear, and yes, it does a ton of coke, and yes, just as you probably suspected, the movie blows. We have officially sunk very low with Cocaine Bear, way past other films where the title alone describes the only thing that happens. Like Snakes on a Plane, We Bought a Zoo, or Sharknado.
I told you.
You did.
Yeah.
By the way, I like 2 of those 3. I like We Bought a Zoo.
I've
and I
never
like
seen
Snakes on a Plane.
Yep. Aping other genres of filmmaking, this one never finds its own voice or a way to integrate the ultra-violence with a dark comedy. It's like a parody of a parody that Elizabeth Banks has turned limp and pointless. If you think it's hysterical to see a bear do a bump of cocaine off a severed leg stump, by all means, God, let me read that again. If you think it's hysterical to see a bear do a bump of cocaine off a severed leg stump, by all means, the movie theater is this way. It sounds great so far. But where did it all go from here, Lance? The best thing to say is that even at an efficient 95 minutes, Cocaine Bear just snorts along. Then it tells what the movie's about.
So I heard so it's a bunch of bit actors that you will recognize if you do go see it. But Margot Martindale, the chick that was in Justified that played the mom of the one that killed with the apple cider. You know what I'm talking about in Justified. The older lady.
Hang on, I'll say her name.
Yeah. Anyway,
I can't say the actress's name, but I could say her name.
It's
Meg.
Her real name's Margot Martindale, I think.
What is it? Meg.
She's in Your Honor right now.
Mags.
Yeah,
Mags.
But she's supposed to be
her.
the best in this.
I like her. She's a good actress.
Yeah.
She's fantastic at Justified.
Yeah, she's good in Your Honor too.
Yeah. It does say that they have a reunion because Matthew Rhys makes an appearance, and it's a reunion of 3 of the characters from The Americans, which is a show I really liked early on.
Oh, Cocaine Bear?
Yeah, he apparently makes
tell me Carrie Russell's in it.
Carrie Russell is in it.
Game changer.
I don't think for long, though. Let me see if I can find that part I read.
She back in the day
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked Carrie Russell.
As Went would say, strong as new rope.
Yeah. Make train take a dirt road. Or is that ugly, right?
She may be in my top 5.
Where is that, Lance? I saw that.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, I saw it earlier. Oh, here it is. Eagle-eye viewers will note that the presence of Carrie Russell. All right, so first of all, hang on. This thing keeps updating. The movie stars Carrie Russell. It says it stars Carrie Russell. You didn't know she was in it?
She's the bear.
Yeah, she could be in the bear suit.
She's in the bear costume.
Isaiah Whitlock Jr., Margot Martindale, Christopher something, O'Shea Jackson.
I like Isaiah Whitlock.
And the late Ray Liotta. It says they all deserve hazard pay. This is not a career high for any of them. This guy kills this movie. But he says
How easy is it to write, though, off of all the cocaine slang?
Yeah, exactly.
This movie blows.
Eagle-eye viewers will note the presence of Russell and Martindale, plus a cameo from Matthew Rhys, 3 members of the Americans.
Matthew Rhys was Carrie Russell's husband.
That's right.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think Matthew Rhys, Carrie Russell.
And Martindale, Mags.
Oh, yeah,
she was in the Americans.
Was,
yeah, Mags Bennett. That was her name.
So she was the one that was the Russian.
She was the old lady.
Yeah, came over and they went to her apartment to talk.
She's a fantastic actress. Yeah. I've always liked her. So, Lance, you're still going to go see it. You're not going to let this dissuade you.
No. I mean, the boys are excited. I mean, again, I'm not expecting – my expectation is not big for this.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be what it is.
We're going to have a little popcorn and a good time.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
No real bears were used, it says, though.
Really?
Wait,
didn't
so
really have to point that out.
They couldn't get a bear.
But was the cocaine real?
You know, the crazy thing is a lot of people don't realize it is
Based on a true story.
It's a true story about drug dealers dropping cocaine out of plane, bear finding cocaine,
That's right.
ingesting enough cocaine to kill the bear.
It exploded his heart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he attacked some hikers and stuff like that in the meantime, did he not?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what this is about.
I mean, you think about how much cocaine it would take to kill a bear because, I mean, it took a ton to put down Chris Farley and Jim Belushi.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
Good point.
How about that? It says this was shot in Ireland, so it would resemble the Georgia mountains. Well, why would you not just shoot it in Georgia? Doesn't that seem easier?
It does.
They shoot a lot of stuff in Georgia.
Yeah,
now.
and it's a lot cheaper.
That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
I mean, they're shooting a ton.
Do they mean
of
Georgia
stuff.
the country instead?
No, it's because it did happen
Yeah.
in Georgia, in the state of Georgia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Waylon Jennings is the guy. I mean, the urban legend is he bought the stuffed cocaine bear.
Yeah. Rated R for bloody violence and gore, drug content, and language. So that's what you can expect there, Dunaway, when you go. That's right up Lance's alley.
Perfect.
Did I hear the word nudity?
You did not. No,
I don't need gratuitous nude scenes.
that's right.
I just need my
Lance-
gore. I need my
Blood and bad
Yep,
language.
that's it.
And a little bump of Coke.
No, I don't need that.
NH3425 says, come on, Brent. It's too easy to film it in the exact location it happened. That doesn't make any sense. They film a ton of stuff in Georgia. All of Ozark's filmed in Georgia, except for, no, it is.
I know.
I'm
All
surprised.
of Ozarks filmed in Georgia instead of in the Ozarks.
I know,
Yeah.
but I mean, they do some of the exterior shots in the Ozarks. Other than that, almost everything's in Georgia.
But I'm really surprised, budget wise. If I was a producer on that film, I'd be like, "You guys are staying in Georgia. We're not flying a whole cast
to
and crew over there."
Ireland.
Yeah,
it
because
makes
these
no
are all
sense.
American actors, by the way.
Oh, Joseph says Cocaine Bear was in the same area as Deliverance.
Wow.
Well, they've had a lot going on up there, right?
About the same time?
Well, I think I'd rather have the cocaine bear chasing me than the hillbillies from Deliverance.
Then Ned, poor Ned Beatty's going to die either way, right?
You know, Ned Beatty has never watched the movie again.
Oh, I bet not.
You know, I've never watched the movie. I just
Disturbing-
know. I
disturbing
know all the
movie.
jokes.
Great movie.
I know all the jokes, but I've never watched.
Burt
the movie.
Reynolds really good at it.
Yeah, was that his breakout role? Had he
So
already-
Deliverance was 72.
Had he already done Smokey and the Bandit?
No,
No,
that
that
was
was
after.
Smokey and the Bandit. Was way after
Way
that.
after
Yeah,
that.
77.
Had he already done the longest yard's the question?
The longest yard was after The Godfather because the guy that produced The Godfather, his next project was The Longest Yard. So Longest Yard was like 73 or 74. Deliverance was before.
Okay. Well, guys, it's been an hour. I can't believe it's already been an hour.
Did
So
we?
I don't even know
did
what we talked
Did
about.
we mention a sport?
Dunaway brought something up.
Basketball. Tomorrow.
Basketball.
Okay.
Basketball is happening tomorrow.
All right, run through that real quick, and then I'll tell them about the RV show.
It's happening tomorrow.
All right.
Basketball is happening
That
tomorrow.
was very quick.
Alabama's at 1. ESPN2 Crimson Tide Sports Network playing Arkansas.
Auburn's got the CBS game.
Auburn's at 3 on CBS. at
Kevin
Rupp
Harlan.
Arena. Kevin Harlan.
Yep.
Why don't you tell them about it, Brownie? JohnstonRVCenter.com.
You want to tell them about that? RV show going through 6 o'clock tonight, 8:30 to 5 Saturday, 1 to 5 Sunday. The I-65 exit 304 exit in Cullman, I-65 exit 304. Competitive financing, lifetime warranties. You can go see America this summer in an RV from Johnston RV Center. Fresh 2023 models arriving. Some closeout models still. They're already priced well below market.
They've got great
show pricing.
They got great service policies
Yes,
here.
sir.
You can check out a lot of other items they have in the parts department here.
Bigfoot Donuts.
Bigfoot Donuts are here
They're
as you
so
come up
good.
here this weekend.
So good.
And good people.
Oh,
Good people.
yeah. You won't meet better people than the Johnstons. JohnstonRVCenter.com for more information. JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Can you
Thank
imagine-
you to them for having us out. Huh?
Can you imagine driving around America and parking, just sitting in these wonderful theater chairs, watching watching a movie?
You wouldn't even know you hit a bump in these things, man.
No.
They're so small.
They look really comfortable.
They are.
It is.
Yep.
I actually want these for the sports room.
All right. I bet you they'd make a deal. You want me to negotiate it for you?
You're not the best negotiator.
All right.
I'll let
I-65.
David negotiate it for me.
I-65 exit 304 in Cullman.
I'll go, David.
334 indicator, JohnstonRVCenter.com. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday at 9.